So hey guys, I just went through a little introductory training with the Mentor Collective. I guess you can find them on mentorcollective.org. It was fun. I went through the Berklee Online music program a few years ago. I think I graduated around 2013, so that was 5 years ago. And Berklee reached out to me via text and was like, hey, we'd love for you to do it, whatever. And I'm sure they're reaching out to a lot of their previous, not just attendees, but someone who's actually completed a program. I never really did a review on Berklee Online, but it was a good experience. So I thought, hey, why not? I always wished that I had a mentor. Kind of I did, when I was growing up, I played with some amazing other musicians. Jeff Holsworth, a drummer in Chicago, shout out to him. Even younger guys like Richie Valadez, we played together, and these guys were really great. Even Tony Kowalski. I never really had an older mentor, I guess by the time Atlas already found Deadmau5 or Skrillex already found Deadmau5, they're already good, so maybe they didn't need a mentor in quite the same way. I always kind of wish that I had one, so I figured, why don't I just go through the training, and then it's almost like I'm teaching myself mentorship, So one of the things that they really emphasize is self-efficacy, and that's the main thing I want to talk about. I just want to give you some of the notes that I took from this orientation, and it's just a couple ways that you can interact with students, or that you can go through your own projects to sort of be a little bit more methodical and systematic on how you approach things. This might be for you, it might not. Personally, I'm not like the biggest on goal setting. I do get things in mind and I do go for them, but I like to use my goals to serve me. I don't like to make the goal the master to where I'm suffering and I'm stressed out, because that can easily happen. You start to really get down on yourself because you're not achieving the things that you would like. But anyways, you can see here, self-efficacy, prepare them from the student and master perspective. So just like, if the example they used was going to a job interview, if you're older than the person, you might have gone for job interviews already. If you're lucky like me, you've gone through about 50 of them or more. And you also might have been in the position of hiring people or know someone. For example, my girlfriend manages a restaurant. She has to hire people. So she's always telling me when we have our nights about how the interviews went. So I can see it from both perspectives, and that's going to be valuable to someone who's coming up. They also mentioned the constructive criticism sandwich, which, in case you don't know, is sort of like saying, well, this is what you did good, this is what I kind of didn't like, but here's some advice on how to improve it. And I guess you can keep going with that. But the main thing is to be honest about what try to encourage them first, because I guess that's what people hear first. They want to hear that you're coming at them positively. You don't want to just be like, bro, you suck. That's just not going to make you bond very well. Be like, dude, that was amazing. Or chick, that was amazing. Give them props, go on the vibe. And then when the time is right, just be like, hey, I noticed that you maybe didn't make this chord change. Maybe next time when we get into the practice room, we should work on that. Or whatever your field is, okay? I don't even know how I'm going to title this video yet, but I already have the lights set up. I just thought I might throw some of this stuff out. Constructive criticism sandwich, try to use that. And what they're saying is give specific advice. So when you're in there working with them, don't just be like, yeah, man, you need to make better chord changes, okay? Or whatever the specific skill might be, if it's a sport or music, or if it's, poker or something. If you're in this position on the table, you're playing these hands way too often. Or I don't know if you guys play poker, but I've found myself betting into a flop that has 2 suits to a flush, and I'll be betting middle pair from early position. And I found that's not very profitable for me. Duh. So that's the kind of specific advice you want to be giving. You want to be giving actionable feedback, which is don't be raising here unless you have, an open-ended straight or at least a flush draw, or they're not betting much. Give them action steps they can take. To work on it, say study away from the table, do a little bit more research into suited connectors or whatever it happens to be, or King X, or if they're changing guitar chords, explain to them to move each individual finger slowly and try to visualize the process and rest their hand. Do not be playing F for like an hour. I think we're all victims of that stupidity. So don't let your mentees suffer that fate. Suggest resources, books, videos. This is all good stuff if you want to teach or you want to improve the kind of advice you're giving out into the world. So yeah, suggest resources, Wikipedia, courses that maybe even you've put out. Obviously, that's a convenient plug. So yeah, and then if I were you, you could tell them what you would do in that kind of situation. Like, look, okay, if I were you and I was missing a finger, or fingertips like Tony Iommi and who is it, Monkey from Korn, or was it Head? I think Monkey is missing fingertips. I'd be like, well, I would do this. That's really good because, again, you've been there. Hopefully you've actually solved the problem. So that puts you in an advantage as opposed to them or their peers who might not have actually solved the issue. Give them options as far as the chord thing goes. Be like, look, you can either, if they're having a hard time, be like, look, you can use lighter strings, okay? Again, you can go slower. You can use a capo if, for example, they're trying to do like, if you guys know the cage system, the C position, you can do it, but it's tricky to move it up the neck. So if they can't do that, be like, look, just use a capo for now, things like that. Again, specific actionable advice. You can also role play with them. Have them like go through flashcards and pick out a chord that maybe you've never played before, some awkward ass chord. Be the one learning the chord, and then they can watch you kind of learn something. So then you are in their role, or give them a chord progression and you guys can work on it together, role playing, whatever. Okay. Just make it fun. Get back in that childlike mindset. That's always helpful. Or we're not afraid of failure. Celebrate with them. We already kind of covered that. If they're coming off stage, give them the high five, give them positive feedback, because honestly, we know in this life, it can be just one gosh darn thing after another. And we don't want to live our lives like that. It's just a grind into the grave, okay? We want to celebrate the little things and really kind of like accentuate those positive moments. So be sure to celebrate with them. I'm all learning this stuff too, so we're kind of like learning together, right? Keep them on track, accountability. Hit them up during the week if they have a project that they're trying to work on. Do not just be off on a bender while your mentee might be needing you. Yeah, and don't let them go on a bender if they have finals coming up or something. That would not be very mentor-like. After action review, this is something that from the Army. Now, I was never in a real leadership role in the Army. I was a squad leader during AIT, okay? Not that big of a deal. But we always used to conduct these after action reviews. Maybe some of you NCOs out there can leave a comment and let me know what they taught you in your frickin' PLDC or whatever you guys had to go through. Pretty much it was like, what happened, what went wrong, and how can we fix it? It was just very much like a constructive criticism sandwich. Okay, I don't know if that's exactly what an AAR is in the military, but it's something similar. That's something I do with my girlfriend. We're a team, so I try to use those ideas, okay? After action review. What happened? What went good, and how can we improve next time? Toyota does this, right? That's their whole like Sigma 6 or lean manufacturing stuff. That's like what Hexspa comes from. Hex Sigma per Ardua. Per Ardua was my battalion motto. Hex Sigma is Sigma 6 backwards. And it's just trying to shave down wasteful behaviors and stuff that doesn't work and just try to get to the good stuff. You'll see this one right here, bring in other mentors who specialize in the problem area. You see this a lot with guys like Alex Becker. I just went through like a little Instagram thing. If you watch YouTube, he's like, I'm going to teach you how to make 6 figures on Instagram. And then you like try to do this stuff and your account is like fucking flagged. Whatever. Maybe I'm not doing it right because I didn't pay for his stuff. But he brought in some dude from the Dominican Republic who's supposedly like killing it on Instagram. So yeah, Victor Wooten will do that. He'll bring in people when you go to his camps. I've seen those videos online where he brings in somebody who maybe specializes in something that maybe he's not the best at, okay? So if you're training people, this is also like something that's great for collaboration. If you're collaborating with people making music like I do, I just completed a track with PGM JSD or Joshy Josh, however he goes for whatever he calls himself. He's definitely more of like a hardware electronic specialist. I'm getting into electronic music, but I focus more on the computer and he focuses more on the hardware stuff. So just that difference alone helped me to create something I would have never, and probably him as well. We put out a product that I don't think either of us would have done on our own. So yeah, go back to the initial steps. This is all just the solid basics as far as helping people, training them, being a leader, being a mentor, encourage, follow up. That's just the main thing. and I want to leave you with this because this is what I don't remember her name, but this is what she said. Self-efficacy is the idea where you want to instill a sense of confidence that they can achieve. Not blind confidence, but an encouraging, realistic light that you become, okay? That's how you are, whatever. She even admitted that the definition was kind of wishy-washy, but we get the idea that we want to, this is what they did in basic training, man. They just made you do stuff that was hard, but you were able to complete it. You know what I mean? Even if you couldn't do the push-ups, you could remain in front lean and rest, sagging in the middle or arching your back, whatever, but you could keep your arms straight. And you have the confidence courses where it happened to me. We had to do this overarm bar thing, and I couldn't do it the first time. And I felt like a complete failure. I did get over the big wall, but at the end, man, my arms were cashed out, and I just could not. I tried 2-3 times. I kept falling, and I was very disappointed with myself. I was like, man, I really felt like I could do that. And so what happened was I went and just sat down with everybody else who'd completed the course. I just kind of like meditated or fell asleep or something. And I just came out of that and I was like, Drill Sergeant, can I try that obstacle again? And he's like, go ahead, Private. And so sure enough, I took my, recruit ass up onto that obstacle and I made it through. And you know what, man? I'll never forget the look on the drill sergeant's face. The faces, like, man, all of them just could not believe it. And it's something that instilled that sort of confidence in me that I might not be able to do something the first time, but if I really want to do it and I try, then I probably will be able to. And that's a really amazing thing to know. It's just like when you learn self-defense, to know that you can defend yourself. That's really the main thing I feel like you need. Do you need to become a black belt to defend yourself on the street? No. They could actually kind of get in the way if you focus on sport, then maybe you're not doing punch defense or keeping the distance from standing phase or whatever it might be. So self-efficacy, that's what we're trying to build here, I guess. I think I've heard other teachers say it before, like, I'm not here to keep you as a student forever. I'm here to get you on your own as soon as possible. So this is how we do it. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and click subscribe. Join my Hexspa Dose newsletter. I still have my Patreon up. If you want to hook me up with a couple bucks a month, I'll do my best to make it worth your while. I am making original music and music making tutorials on this channel. So if you like what you see, again, go in the description and find ways to get involved. Thank you. Peace.